I have grown to love the fall season more and more with each passing year. The crisp air suits me as I have become less tolerant of extremes. The familiarity and discipline that the school schedule brings to a household with young kids is reassuring. There's also a renewed spirit and vigor at my business and those of my customers, as organizations focus on ending the year strong and eclipsing the goals established so long ago before summer vacations were even on the calendar. There's an energy in everyone's step. In my youth, Labor Day and the approach of fall was foreboding, as it signaled an end to summer car trips, late-night games of kick the can, and Little League baseball. To a young boy, fall brought with it the same empty feelings that putting away the Christmas tree at the end of the holidays did. Fall lacked the joy of summer. But in the fall, there was football and there were leaves to rake. And it was with a rake, a wheelbarrow, and a portable radio powered by 4C batteries that my father and I would tackle the leaves in our modest lot back home in West Virginia. The leaves seemed to fall all of October and November. It was on those Sundays together with that portable radio that we listened to the legendary voices of the Steelers broadcast, Jack Fleming and Myron Cope, make the calls as Stallworth and Swan caught passes from Bradshaw. I would not admit it to my dad then, but I enjoyed those times we were together in the yard, tackling the leaves while Franco Harris avoided being tackled. We would alternate between raking and piling and wheeling them over to the neighborhood's large mulch pile. On the occasions I would need to rake the leaves by myself, not only was it slower, but it was not much fun in isolation. Recently, I had a colleague that took a long weekend into the Smoky Mountains to observe the fall foliage. I asked her if she brought any leaves back as a memento or perhaps use it in an art project with the kids. And she said something to the effect of, "No, you can't just bring back a leaf. It's the collective of leaves that we go to see and that provide the beauty. One leaf on its own is not a treasure." And she's right. It's the collective that is gorgeous. Whether we're talking about the beauty of fall colors, or the joy in doing a task, or the ballet of Bradshaw to Swan, more is better. And for these reasons, many of us gravitate to team sports. We recognize that playing our role on our team allows us to take pride, not in what we accomplish as an individual, but in how our efforts allow the team to accomplish something larger than any one individual. It's the reds, the browns, the yellows, all together that provide the beauty of the fall season. I feel this at Linden Hills United Church of Christ too. We come together in many ways to make bold statements, whether it be our investments in the community, in the North Side, in countries and causes far away, and close to home. We rally together. We invest in our ministries to reach different people in different ways. In May, a collective vote of the membership made a bold vote to add depth and vitality to our church leadership. We are bold when we are collective. The Latin roots of generous referred to a being of noble birth, which infers you either had it or you were born without it. Thankfully, our use has evolved, and today we all have the ability to be generous. When we share more hospitality, we share our talents, or even when we just share more than half the blanket. Anytime we share more than expected and put others above ourselves, we are generous. We have a choice to be generous with whatever we have. One of the intriguing aspects of generosity is that we all approach it on our own terms. Two patrons at a restaurant receiving the exact same service will have a different perception of what a generous tip is. Likewise, my grandfather and grandmother had a very different view of how big a generous piece of pumpkin pie was when plated. My grandfather would always ask for the biggest half. Thus, in each situation, big or small, we bring our own context to what generous means to us as an individual and us as a family. There's no judging. Generosity happens on our own terms. In Proverbs, God's word encourages us to be generous because whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. I'm a firm believer this refreshment comes in the form of our strength and faith and spirit, items that do not carry a price tag or have a shelf life. Collective seems to have the same Latin roots as collection. At the end of our stewardship campaign, we'll be asking you to make a commitment towards 2018. And yes, in 2018, there will be a series of collections using the offering plate and our online platform, which our members will use along with their faith to live up to their commitments and sharing their many blessings. Like the leaves of fall, the collection of your individual commitments to Linden Hills United Church of Christ and our community is inspiring, beautiful, and something to behold each and every year. I'm drawn to the collective of what we can do together with our generosity to enrich, grow, and refresh our church. In the here and now of the fall of 2017, we're a bold church, and we've been blessed. Let's approach this stewardship season together with faith in the collective generosity of Linden Hills United Church of Christ.